Okay, this is going to be video 14. Okay, these other videos take care of basic weapon and combat shooting. The rest of these videos will be just anything and everything left over that I happen to think of as I think of them. Okay, the first thing is, and right at the top, I watched the last video before I uploaded it and I caught myself using the term dry fire. After due consideration, I decided to just go ahead and upload it, mistake and all, because there's a lesson to be learned here. And that lesson is always be alert. Safety first, last, and always, because anyone can and will screw up. Now, granted, that's not a real major screw up like shooting yourself in the foot, but nevertheless, watching that was a learning experience. Okay, the next thing I want to discuss is, I want to discuss law enforcement in 9/11. Now, right up front, I'll tell you this, I have very mixed feelings about law enforcement in general. But here's the first and most important thing I want to stress. You and you alone are responsible for your own safety. The police will not and cannot protect you. In fact, several courts have ruled that they have no legal obligation to protect you. So, you know, that's where it's at. The courts have ruled in favor of the criminals. The police don't have a legal obligation to protect you. 9/11 will not help you. The judicial system will not help you if you survive. If you are a woman or a child or an old person, that's all the more reason to have a weapon and know how to use it. Now, granted, I know a 6-year-old can't get concealed carry and carry a weapon, but a 6-year-old can and should be able to use one if somebody breaks into the house. Say they're there by yourself, say mom steps out to the store for a minute to get a carton of milk and they're there by themselves and someone breaks in. They should know how to use a weapon to defend the home and defend themselves if they have to. Okay, with that we're going to begin our totally unscripted discussion here on law enforcement, so I don't know what's going to come up or how it's going to come up. Now, the first thing is, I said I had very, very mixed feelings about law enforcement, and I do, but the first thing is here, I want to be fair to law enforcement. So I pulled a thing off the internet about the number of police officers killed in duty, and let's see, I can't read this because it's a lot of fine print here. It says, I think in 2008 the number fell to 140. 12 in California. In 1973 the number was 156, on and on and on. So the police officers have a rough job. A lot of them some of them are killed in the line of duty. Many, many more of them are seriously injured in all kinds of different ways that you never hear about, and there's probably even no way to count the number of them that are seriously injured. So they have a lot of problems. They have the same and more problems that the general population has. They've got a high rate of alcoholism, you know, due to the stress of the job, a much higher rate of divorce. They've got less than ideal working conditions, different shifts, stuff like that. It's just on and on and on. And then if they have to shoot somebody in the line of duty, there's about hours and hours of paperwork. They'll take their badge and their weapon away from them, suspend them, and they're, you know, guilty until proven innocent. And it's just not a good deal. So I'm willing to grant that that there's a lot of good officers. There's a lot of good officers. In fact, there's ones that have literally never drawn their weapon while on duty and never shot anybody and have never fired their weapon. So that's the first side of that issue I wanted to talk about and get out right up front. Now, here's the other side. I pulled off an article off of Yahoo last year. It happened July 30th, 2008. I won't read the whole thing here because it's somewhat long. This gentleman's name, he's Mayor Cheye, Calvo, C-A-L-V-O, in Berwyn Heights, Maryland. Him and his wife, Trinity, T-O-M-S-I-C. What happened there was a FedEx guy, I believe it was, left a big package of marijuana on her doorstep, and the mayor bought it in mistakenly thinking it was a package for his wife, and the SWAT team was watching it. As soon as he took it inside, they broke into the house and, you know, abused the hell out of the people there, the mother-in-law, the wife, the mayor, shot their 2 Labrador retrievers dead, shot one of the Labrador retrievers while it was running away from the police, trying to get away from them. So that was a SWAT team, and that's what they did. And I checked up on the internet last night, and there's a lawsuit pending now, of course, and the Prince George County Police Chief Melvin High has never apologized for this incident and said his officers acted within guidelines and there was nothing wrong with what they did. So that's the first thing. Now, I got to doing a little research on this and reading about this, and Maryland's kind of a funny state. This seems to happen on a regular basis there with the SWAT team. I mean, for some reason, this seems to be very prevalent back there, and I would hate to think that these SWAT team officers actually enjoyed going into the home and abusing these people, and I'd actually hate to think they enjoyed killing these animals, but to be perfectly candid, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like the SWAT team in Maryland are nothing but sadistic action junkies, and as a society we would be better off if these people had no backing by the government and they were where they belong, which is in prison with the rest of the animals that prey on the general population. So that's one of the things I pull off the internet, and why I have totally, completely mixed feelings about law enforcement, especially the SWAT team. Now, here's something else that happened. I'll have time to get into this incident, then I'll probably have to cut this off. In Oklahoma recently, I forget where it was someplace, I saw the video of it, but this lady called 911 because this predator was breaking in her back door and trying to get to her. So she called 911, and the whole 911 call took about 30 minutes. It took the police about 30 minutes to get there. So she's in a room, you know, calling 911. She's on the phone. This guy's breaking in. This guy finally this guy gets broken in the house, and he gets to her, and he's assaulting her. Finally, the police show up, and the police go in there, and it takes 5 police officers to subdue this guy. 5 police officers to pull this guy off the lady and subdue him. The handcuffs won't fit around this animal's wrist. That's how big and how strong he was. Well, the guy's now doing life in prison, of course. We don't execute people anymore. But here's the thing. The SWAT team in Maryland breaks into an innocent person's house and kills what amounts to their 2 children for no good reason at all. Absolutely no reason at all. The police officers, you know, break into this lady's house, you know, and pull this guy off of her. Now, a proper use of force would have been for one of the police officers to just pull out his handgun and put one through this guy's head, and that would be the end of the whole thing right there. We let this puke live that shouldn't even still be alive and kill 2 innocent lads. So you tell me where the justice and the sanity is in this world. There just isn't any, and that's more or less what we put up with. And I'm 9.5 minutes into this, so I'm going to cut this off right here and continue this discussion on the next one.